Most people have come from quite a distance. In fact, actually, all of you have come from quite a distance. Nobody lives locally at all. Why are you having kids? That's another story. Yeah, so we originally invited, in fact, over 100 people. And, yeah, so because of these issues, we whittled down to about 35 of us. But it's quality over quantity. Talking of the economic crisis. Talking of the economic downturn, there's a joke going on. Have you heard of the new breakfast cereal? What's it called? Credit Crunch. You get a free house with every packet. And you can have it. You can only have it with semi-skimmed milk. You can't have it with cream because the fat cats, the bankers, ate all the cream. Okay, so right, moving swiftly on. I'd like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank my parents for their continued support, especially in recent times. And I'd like to thank them for welcoming my asawa into our family and making her feel so welcome. So thank you to you. I'd like to thank Lani and Mike for who aren't, maybe some of you were thinking they are Geraldine's parents, but they are not Geraldine's parents. They looked after Geraldine when she first moved to the UK in Glasgow. She then looked after Geraldine, so I thank you, Lani, took care of her. I'd like to thank Sonia for looking after G this morning. Geraldine, G. I call her G, you see, very often.
Could you shorten that a bit?
My father calls her Jerry. I thank you, Emma, for Grace, and also for making a wonderful current landlady to G. So I just want to do a toast from the Groom to everyone in the room. Thank you for sharing this day with my wife.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's not the end of my speech, by the way. Just page 1 of this.
So many pages in it.
Expect at least 12.
Page 2. Right, I'd just like to get a few jokes off my chest, as is customary in all these occasions like this. Right? One, what's customary in occasions like this is to poke fun at marriage.
Oh.
And so I'm going to do exactly that.
Oh.
Right.
Careful.
I'm going to, there's a quotation from Groucho Marx: marriage is an institution, but who wants to live in an institution? Okay, that all goes to the best. George Bernard Shaw: marriage is popular because it combines the maximum of temptation with a maximum of opportunity.
Here, here.
From a psychological perspective, I've got my contact lenses in, and they're for long distance, so I can barely read. From a psychological perspective, marriage is when a man and a woman become one. The trouble starts when you decide which one. And another, talking of psychology, from a psychological perspective, there's a recent study investigated. Investigated, among other things, the female fantasy of having two men at once. Many of you here among us, females that is, may share this fantasy. In further investigation revealed that one man was cooking and the other one was cleaning. Now, psychologists, we psychologists also like to philosophize. Say that again. Philosophize. For example, we ask questions such as, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around to hear it, does it still make a noise? It's an interesting philosophical question, isn't it? I mean, if there's no one around to hear it, how does anybody know whether it makes a noise or not? So maybe it doesn't make any noise. We can never test it. Similarly, if a man is in a forest and there isn't a woman around, is he still wrong? Just think, if it weren't for marriage, men would spend the rest of their lives thinking they had no faults at all. Right, that's a few jokes off the chest. Right. More seriously, Geraldine and I, when we first got together, I decided to let her know where she stands. I wanted to know where she stands right from the word go, so I took off my trousers and I said, "Put these on." And she said, "I can't wear your trousers." And I said, "And don't you forget that, I wear the trousers." A few moments later, she took off her knickers, threw them at me. She said, "Try those on." I said, "I can't get into your knickers." She said, "You never will if you don't change your attitude." Clearly I did. Right now, I went into a bookshop and found a wonderful little book called Don'ts for Wives.
Oh, I've seen those.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's written in 1913. So
You want the don'ts for husbands?
We'll come to that. I just want to make a few. I just want to quote a few interesting observations. It's written by Blanche Ebbett. It's a woman, yes, Blanche. Blanche. I'm going to Blanche. This is Blanche. Jolie hasn't got the This is me impersonating Blanche. Don't nag your husband. If he won't carry out your wishes for the love of you, he certainly won't because you nag him. Sandra. Moving swiftly on. There's another one here. Don't be satisfied to let your husband work overtime to earn money for frogs for you. Manage with fewer frogs. That's it. Come on, that's it. Evenings at home. Don't be out if you can help it when your husband gets home after his day's work. Don't let him have to search the house for you. Listen for his latchkey and meet him at the threshold. What's happened to wives these days? Don't think anything too much trouble for your husband's comfort. Remember, he is occupied all day in working for you. Don't be afraid of thinking and planning and working for him. Just one more. Household management. Don't be angry if your husband says that he never now tastes cakes like his mother used to make. Write and ask her for the recipe. Yes, there is, as Laura, my niece, pointed out, there is a don'ts husband. Just have it here. Oh, I've left it somewhere. I seem to have misplaced it. Right.